Hey everybody, this is DK Kim. I wanted to make this video about the closing that just didn't go well yesterday. So I'm going to show you how a title company can take advantage. Now let me make this disclaimer. The seller chose the title company. When we make our offers, we always um, you know put into the contracts that the buyer will pay for title and all associated closing costs, um, but it has to go to a particular law firm I'm associated with. And of course, we make sure that even with all this extra closing costs, the deal still works. But in this case, the seller said no. I want to use this particular title company. I know them very well, but of course, this is the only property that this person has ever sold in her life. So there's no way that she would know whether the title company is doing everything correctly. So I'm going to show you, how a title company will try to take advantage of an investor. Okay, and because I have title experience, I was able to unravel some stupidity that this title company was doing. All right, so in short, this title company thought I was just some random investor, probably thinking I was fresh off the boat, not knowing what the hell I was doing, and I really rocked their world yesterday. So this is the property here. All right, 235 Magnolia Street in Satellite Beach, Florida. All right, it's about 7-minute walk to Satellite Beach. This is a very up and coming area. It's just a great property. All right. So let me show you. I got my Dropbox opened up here. So a little bit background about the property. It's my comp analysis here. I kind of do things a little bit differently. This is actually the same sheet that I give to my private lenders who will fund the deal. Okay. I kind of break it down between rehab properties, not rehab properties, semi-rehab, and rehab. Ours is a 4-bed, 2-bath, 1-car carport. Okay, we are converting the carport into a 1-car garage. All right, and so we kind of have all types of analysis from each angle. All right. We know with very good confidence that this property is going to sell for at least 275. All right. We also do a worst case analysis to our private lenders. We kind of show the worst case scenario, but I know in this area, this property will have a good chance of fetching 299 or even above 300,000 because it's an up and coming area. I have some comments about the house, some notes. And the cool thing is these two pending contracts right here is what's driving the price up in that area. Okay. So anyway, that's a quick idea of what's going on within the comps. All right. As I said, comp not updated, semi-rehab, rehab houses, all the pictures are within this. The private lender has this to view. Okay. And so we got this under contract for 176. We have a $5,000 credit here. Okay. So the net effect is 171. All right. It was supposed to close yesterday, June 9. Fortunately, we got an extension till June 13. Okay. All right. What else can I tell you about the property? All right. There's some pics and videos, but I'm not going to go into that. I'm going to show you exactly what the title company did not do correctly. Okay. This is very important. So anytime you get a municipal lien search, anytime you get a title commitment, you need to know how to read it. Okay. You cannot assume seller's title is going to do everything correctly. All right. You cannot assume that. All right. Because had we closed yesterday, my private lender's interest and my legal interest would have been screwed And on top of that, we probably wouldn't have been able to sell to the end buyer. All right. Right now, this is June. This property needs to be up and done by no later than mid-July. Okay. I mean, this is a full gut rehab. It needs to be up no later than July, and it needs to sell before August 15, before school starts here in Florida. All right. So let me tell you what the issue is. Well, let me get the pre-HUD for you. All right. So here's the pre-HUD. All right. I know I have a lot of screens up, but it's going to make a lot of sense here. Okay. First, when you get a title commitment, all right, you need to look at Schedule B1. A Schedule B1 tells the title, this is the underwrite, this is the legal underwriting from, okay, the title underwriter telling the title company what needs to be done in order for the buyer to obtain marketable title, as well as the seller to give marketable title. Okay, so all this stuff here, you know, it's all itemized. All right, everything is cool. Everything is cool. When we entered into the contract, we always ask, "Hey, seller, is your property free and clear? Do you have a mortgage?" Seller says, "Oh yeah, I paid everything off. There is no mortgage." Well, guess what? There's a mortgage, $50,000 potential. Okay, all right. Usually this amount here looks like it could be an actual mortgage or a home equity line of credit. Regardless, the property is potentially encumbered for up to 50 grand. All right. On the pre-HUD, which I did not get, okay, I did not get this pre-HUD until yesterday. All right. I didn't even know what it looked like. And I asked the title company starting on Tuesday, where's the pre-HUD? Where's the pre-HUD? Where's the pre-HUD? I need the pre-HUD. All right. Nothing. Nothing. So once I got it, all right, and I never got the commitment according to the contract. All right. I'm supposed to get the commitment 5 days minimum before closing. Let me show you that. So this is where the title world meets with the contract. Okay. Where did it go? Right here. You see here? This is the contract that we use on the acquisition. All right. If left blank, then 15, or if paragraph A is checked, then 5 days prior to closing. Right here. Paragraph 8A is checked. Buyer will pay cash. All right. Etc. Etc. All right. It needs to be 5 days before closing. I did not get this. Okay. This commitment. All right. This commitment right there, you see in the contract, wasn't given to me 5 days prior. It was given to me literally at 8 a.m. yesterday. And lo and behold, I find that there's $50,000 mortgage on the property, okay? Encumbering the property, okay? Let me go back to my pre-HUD here. So, as you know, a pre-HUD is supposed to be, like a rough draft of what, what's going to shake down financially, okay? Here, as you can see on the seller side, you do not see a payoff, okay? You do not see a payoff here. And look at this right here. I forgot to highlight this. Let me highlight it for you right now. All right. Different title companies do different things. Sometimes they pay off on the back, but usually the payoff has to be on the front. Look at that. It says payoff $1 to Space Coast Credit Union, right? How does $1 equal 50,000? Does that make sense? No, it does not. So I called them up. I said, look, I just got the pre-HUD. I just got the commitment. How in the world is this $1 potentially going to pay this off? And number two, where's the payoff? Did you guys get a payoff? Title company says, no, we never got an official payoff. I said, wait a second here. Then why did you put $1 in there? Well, we called the seller, and the seller said that there's going to be about maybe 10 grand on the payoff amount. And I said, well, wait a minute here. Why are you trusting the seller? Because you have to get the payoff directly from Space Coast. And she said, well, we're just going to close the deal, and we're just going to withhold about 10 grand. I said, well, that's still a problem. Number one, you need the physical payoff. Number two, even if you were to withhold, you're not allowed to do that, because guess what? What if this exactly was, $20,000, and then once I purchase the property, all right, that 10 grand may not pay 20 grand off, so there's going to be a lis pendens against the property while I, resell the property to an end buyer. I said, that's not allowed. I said, I'm not closing. You guys need to get your act together. And so she said, no, 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 this is completely okay. And this is the email that I got, okay? She says here, the seller's funds are being held in escrow until we receive the payoff. This does not affect you, as your owner's policy will insure you against any outstanding mortgage. Look, technically, we could have closed, but the problem is, right, in my conversations to her, she was only going to send out to the seller $148,000. She was only going to withhold 10 grand based upon the seller's word. That's ridiculous. That is beyond ridiculous, okay? And even if she were to have done that, okay, and we found out later that, the mortgage was even bigger, right? You don't want to deal with this where the owner's policy, to make a claim on her owner's policy to insure for this amount, right? That can increase your holding time from anywhere from 6 months to a year. All right. I haven't been involved, on the rehab end of that, but I have helped clients to, regular buyers and sellers, especially sellers, when they sell, they've had situations like this. To get money from this can take up to 6 months to a year. So it's better to not close. So the second issue, all right, the second issue that popped up here, all right, is right here. You see here? See attached commitment and city lien for your review, all right? Now, this is the lien search, okay? Let me blow this up. The balance on this account is $140.17, good for the service period through 4/24/17. Look at this, right? It says it right here, right? You can see that makes sense. However, they did not update the numbers from 4/25 all the way to June 9, okay? So therefore, if they never paid this amount through 4/24, all right, more than likely this number has increased, all right? They did not update. They did not get an updated utility search, okay? So there was two things wrong with the HUD, okay? Now, why am I telling you this? In case if you have a private lender who's hemming and hawing or needs more time, you can be proactive, all right? If you know how to read the HUD, if you know how to look at the commitment, all right, you can find out, you can be on the offensive, okay? This is very important. So this person just, they were just so busy. They thought, oh yeah, this cash closing, this is easy. This is no big deal, etc., etc. So I can only imagine that they were really frustrated that I wasn't going to close because they didn't cross their T's and dot their I's. All right. Another issue that came up yesterday. All right, at around 8 in the morning and afterwards. All right. Now, my partner is Jason Sarones, all right? She was trying to cover her butt, all right, by saying, oh, yeah, we sent the commitment on such and such date, okay? Whether that happened or not, I don't think they did. Jason didn't get anything. But this is why they didn't get the payoff, because they ordered title too late. Okay, every title company, when you interview a title company or a law firm, you have to ask the following question: when you receive an executed contract, when do you order title? All right, usually it needs to be within 2 or 3 days of receiving the contract. Okay, because title, you usually can get it within 1 week, of the executed contract. Okay, but they did not do that. All right, our contract was signed. Let me look it up here. It was signed. Okay, last day was May 23, so 7 days from that would have been like June. Okay, early June. This came a little bit later. All right, at June 5. All right, as was shown in the contract. Okay, June 9. We needed it a little bit earlier. All right, so that's just another issue. Everything about this deal was fine except for the title company. Okay, so yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to show you. Okay, when you look at a title commitment, B2 are the exceptions. These are things that the title commitment, title insurance will not bind. That's fine. You're not worried about B2. You have to worry about what's in B1. Okay, B1 will show all the mortgages, all the liens, anything that affects marketable title will be in here. And as you can see, this property, all right, this is really $1. Come on, title company. You need to wake up. So yeah, so that's what happened yesterday. It was very frustrating. Fortunately, my private lender wasn't scared of this. I told him the situation. He's completely okay with it. And that's the other thing. No matter what happens to closing, okay, whether you purchase the property as intended or not, you always have to communicate with your private lender. Okay, had this deal gone straight, with no issues whatsoever, I always call my private lender. I say, hey, thank you very much for funding the deal. We're starting our rehab. See you in about 4 months to, with your money back. Thank you very much, etc., etc. Or if it doesn't close correctly, you have to explain to them what's going on. So I explained to them. I gave them the commitment. Everything is good. So all right. So if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. But yeah, this is if you use Dropbox, this is what I use to keep myself organized. Okay, I always comps, execute a contract, pics and video, commitment, the mortgage and note from the private lender. Then you got the pre-HUD at the closing. Once everything's done, everything's scanned here, and then you can add liquidation. Rehab. All your contracts, all your issues with rehab goes into the rehab folder. 9 is marketing. Our property launch, all the material goes there. And then 10, liquidation, closing. Okay, and then all that information goes in there. Okay. All right, that's all I want to say. Probably a little bit long-winded, but I wanted to make sure that you understood where I was coming from. All right, have a nice weekend.